Adapted one-page planner tutorial. Hey, this is Valerie Pugsley here, and I often share these planners that I use. They're each one page, one for the monthly, one for the weekly. But if I share it, up to this point, I haven't had a tutorial to go with it. So this little tutorial is just to show you how I use this, and then you can take them and adapt them however you choose. Originally, I got these from Peter Voogd, V-O-O-G-D. So you can look him up and get some of his training, and this comes from his. I tend to gravitate towards technology because then I can have it with me wherever I go. So by keeping it in Trello, I can access this from my phone. If I'm traveling and I don't have my main laptop with me but another device, I can still access it as long as I have Wi-Fi. So the first piece of this planner is the 30-day planner. And the whole idea is we make goals and plans, and then at the end of the year, what happened, we didn't get to it. So the purpose of this 30-day, in this case it's called a challenge or planner, is to take a look at your goals. So once a year, I'll do a big planning where I go off and I work through some processes and plan what are my goals for the next year. You know, we're working towards that 5 and 10-year goal, breaking it down to 1 year. But then after you break it down from 1 year, you need to break it down even smaller. So this is those smaller steps. So at the end of the month or the beginning of the month, I'll take a look at my goals for the whole year and look and see what are the next steps. How am I progressing on those? Based on that, then I take that information, and that's how I fill this out. So then you come up with your next 5 goals that you want to accomplish in the next 30 days. And these are smaller pieces to your bigger goal. Another thing that you can look at here as well is what results do you want to have at the end of 30 days? Are you looking for certain results at the end of 30 days? And if there's certain results that you want, you could even add that in here. You could, and just a quick tutorial on Trello, you can just, when you click on edit, you could easily add up above this your results that you want in 30 days, and then what are the steps that you're going to need to accomplish to do that. Now these are bigger ones up here, not the minute steps, but then you break it down smaller, and then we're going to get into the weekly in just a minute, and that you break down even smaller. Now, one of the things that I found when I started doing this is that sometimes I was having a hard time getting things done. And it would be easy to beat yourself up that you're not getting things done. But I realized that even though I wasn't getting everything done, I was getting some stuff done. And the other thing that I realized is that sometimes the goals that I was putting here were just too big. It sounds like it's just an easy thing, but in reality, when you start looking at whatever you're trying to accomplish, there's usually a lot more pieces to it. You think, oh, it's just one thing. Well, no, it's usually 5 things. And so sometimes I wasn't, taking that into consideration. So if you find you're not getting these done, just make them a little bit smaller. It means you've gone too big, and whatever you're putting down here has more steps in it than you actually thought it had. Now, Peter recommends a reward if you accomplish this. For me, that doesn't work so well, but if that works for you, then create a reward that you're going to give yourself once you accomplish this. And so that's basically your monthly planner. And the thing is as you get ready to plan your weeks, you can take a look at this, and it reminds you where your goals are. It helps you to stay focused. In our world, we're so bombarded with so much stuff, it's easily to get overwhelmed. If you're reviewing this on a regular basis, like a weekly basis, maybe in the middle of the week you need to review it, it helps you to stay focused. This is what I really wanted to accomplish. And it helps you be able to say no to things that aren't going to help you get there. So once you have your weekly template or your monthly template set, then you go into your weekly. And again, what's your desired outcome? I have other things on mine that I put up here, those kinds of things that I want to keep top of mind. Then what are the different tasks that you're going to do? So we start out with profit producing tasks, activities. What are the top 3 things that you can do that are going to create profit? Or in terms of your desired outcome, hopefully your outcome has some profit related to it. So what are those things? Now this is something that I've added. Peter didn't have this in his original, the why and the results. Sometimes we just put things down here and then we procrastinate and don't get things done. But if we put the reason why we want to get it done and what the results are going to be if we get it done, I think for me anyway, this helps me to get that thing done, to push through, to make sure it happens. Oh yeah, this is why it's important. Then the next thing on your planner is your top 3 non-negotiables. Now these non-negotiables, these are more habit, health, personal development related, not necessarily tasks for your result or your goal that you're going for the week. But this is kind of overall. So I put these in here to kind of remind me, and I try and do one for each of these. It doesn't always work that way, but something for your health, something for your productivity, something for your mindset, how you think, how you talk to yourself. So put some things down. For example, one that I've had was to walk outside daily, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And the idea for that, the reason why that's important, is 1, it gets me away from the computer screen, and it helps to energize me. It gets me in touch with nature. I get vitamin D on myself, and by doing all of that, then I come back energized and motivated. And so that's why that particular is helpful. And reading these whys is helpful too. Now this daily one, or this weekly plan, ideally when I'm working optimally, I review it every morning and look at the goals that I had on there. Then that helps with my scheduling, but it also just kind of helps refresh. What's my focus? What am I trying to stay focused on? Especially if you're like me and you're really entrepreneurial or creative, it's very easy to get sidetracked. So by reviewing this, it helps me to stay on track. The next thing is people to reach out to. Identifying people who can help you achieve that goal or attain it. So sometimes this could be somebody who's going to help you get the job done. Maybe you have an outsourcer, or you go to Fiverr, or you have an assistant, or you seek out the advice of a consultant or a coach or something like that. Sometimes it may be people that you need to get in contact with, connections that you need to make in order to get, some of these other things done. That's what you add here. And then here are things that you're committed to and what you're excited about. In this section, this is more the granular task that you need to do to accomplish, some of these money-making activities, or those bigger goals that we had over here on our 30-day challenge. There's granular tasks that need to be done. Maybe you need to write some content. Maybe you need to set some appointments. Maybe you need to go get some information. Whatever it is, what are those things that you're committed to getting done? This is more your to-dos, but you're wanting to make sure that these to-dos are going to help you, that they're helping you achieve that ultimate goal that you're working towards. And then what kind of things are you excited for this week? What's happening this week that you're excited for? It doesn't necessarily have to be work related. It could be anything that's happening this week that you're excited for. Those things that, wow, yeah, I'm excited to have this done. And then down here we're getting into kind of more a review from the past. The way that I have found this to be helpful is that, sometimes technology throws you for a loop, or things interrupt your plans and you don't get to do what you had scheduled. When you look at those wins and review them on a regular basis from the past week, it helps to motivate you this week. Maybe you don't have your wins yet this week. It helps you to do that. That's really basically your weekly planner. But now I've added these things to it as well. This is part of a weekly review and a daily review that is also helpful for a variety of reasons. And so I like to have it all in one place. It's helpful for me. So this you're going to do at the end of the week, as this is as well. You're going to do this at the end of the week or the very beginning of the week. A lot of successful people I hear about, they do it Sunday afternoon. You could do it Friday afternoon, Saturday, whatever's going to work for you. You want to do that review of the week, and that's where that happens. And I'll show you where to get these top wins from in just a minute. One of the things that I've added as an adaptation to this, and a lot of people who have successful tips and things, they often recommend having some sort of a journal, or at the end of the day writing down 5 things that you're grateful for, a variety of different things. And so I've kind of adapted all of those into this. Now this Agile comes from the development world, people who develop apps and computer software and stuff. They have a system, and I'm not even sure on the terms. One term I've heard is Scrum, one term I've heard is Agile. I think the two are connected. But basically what they do is either at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, they have a short, quick meeting where each person in the room goes around and they say, what did they get done either today or yesterday, depending on when they're having their meeting, what got in the way, and then how you're going to fix that, what they're going to do today or tomorrow. Now I've added this, how I added value today. That's something that I'd heard somebody else say, and I've added a couple other things, or I've adapted it. So I'm putting all these options here for you. You use it how it works best for you. I'll just tell you a little bit more about my adaptation and then what does it look like. So what I do is either during the day or at the end of the day, I just start listing the things that I did and I got done. And this is helpful because sometimes you don't feel like you're getting anything done. But when you start writing it down, what you did do, wow, you did get a lot of things done. Now, it isn't always the things that you wanted to get done for your goal, but you did get things done. And so it's helpful to keep you motivated to really work back towards getting back to that thing that you really wanted to achieve, because you realized you did a lot. It also helps you realize, wait, do I really want to keep doing this? And if you're into maybe a habit that's not really healthy for you achieving your goals, it helps you be able to see that habit and go, wait, no, this isn't where I want to focus. I want to focus over here. Now, the next thing they do is what got in the way. And I was doing this a lot for a while, and this is helpful as to what got in the way, because it helps you recognize behaviors that you're doing and motivates you to want to change it instead of just saying, oh, well, I do this and I don't want to. Because when you start recognizing really how that thing got in the way, that's helpful. But recently I heard somebody talking about, it was a golfer, and instead of doing this and focusing on what went wrong, what they do when he has his team meetings is they focus on what went well, why did it go well, and so they want to do more of that. So I'm working towards switching from this what got in the way to doing more of. In other words, what went well, and let's do more of that. Pick which one you want to use. Doesn't matter, whatever's going to work for you, but I recommend doing one or the other. It's very helpful. And then back to the Agile Scrum analogy, then the next thing that they would do in their meeting is what they're going to do today or tomorrow. And that's, planning that next day ahead, knowing what's going to happen. Since I do that, my planning I do on my calendar, and that's kind of taken care of. I don't do that here on this page. What I've started doing is that review thing that I told you about, where people say the things that they're thankful for. But instead of just being thankful, I've also added, where have I added value today? So on my personal sheet like this that I use this, I don't have this line, I have this line instead. My goal is to add at least 3 things here each day. So it could be one or the other. It could be where I added value or something that I'm thankful for. So maybe if you don't feel like you've added value in the day someplace, you can be thankful for something that has happened in that day, or just something that you're blessed to have. Writing these down is that idea of gratitude and providing value makes you well, one, you're just a better contribution to the world. It's motivating to yourself, and it's motivating and helpful to others as well. Basically, that's it. And then what I do is I do this ideally every day. Reality, it doesn't usually happen every day. It happens every couple days. I usually will just type in the day like this, and then, start typing in the things that I did, right? And then I have the whole week here. What did I get done? And once I do that, then at the end of the week, when I'm reviewing the day, or when I'm doing my review, that's where this is going to come in. So at the end of your week, you're going to review, what did you complete? What did you get done? So Peter comes from the place of leaders finish things. And if you're creative like me, you're really good at starting things, but finishing things is a little bit more of a challenge. It's been helpful for me to start thinking about, wow, what did I need to finish something, finish this. So it's really helpful there. So what things did you complete? And again, we have the what went well, what didn't. You can put here what wasted time, places maybe things wasted time. And this is helpful to see, where am I wasting time? And then you're more inclined, or you're less inclined to do it in the future, or you catch yourself quicker and you turn and change from it. At least that's been my experience and what I have seen. When were you at your best? By doing this, I have found that there's certain days of the week that I tend to be better, or certain portions of the day where things are better. And so it helps you to start scheduling those things that you know you really want to get done during those times when you're at your best. Or what environments are you at your best at? As you start seeing that, you can start arranging to have your environment or your environments be more of that. And then again, what were you grateful for this week? What things happened this week that you were really grateful for? Once you get this filled out, this is kind of your weekly review. Then for the next week, you need a different form, and I'll show you in just a minute where mine is. You need another form, but for the beginning of your next week, this is where you get your top wins from last week from this information down here. And again, I was saying before that this is very helpful to motivate you during the week before the week gets going, or when life gets tough in the week. You have these things from last week that you got done, and it helps you to push on for this week. So what this looks like for me on a weekly basis is that I have, this is just what mine looks like right now. So I don't have all of those things. Like I said, I use Trello a lot. You can have all different kinds of boards. I have one called This Week, and this is kind of my daily stuff that I get to. And so I have a template down here. At the beginning or the end of the month, I just make a duplicate of this. You can just make a copy. Actually, this is something that I've added to mine that wasn't on that original one. Start, stop, and do. And this is something from Peter Voogd as well. What kind of things do you want to start doing that's going to increase your confidence and help you feel better? What kind of things do you need to stop doing that's not serving you and it's not helping you with your confidence? And then what things are you already doing that you want to keep and continue doing? So that's something that I play with from time to time. Anyway, sidetrack, sorry about that. But back to here, I just make a copy of this, give it a new name, and then I can work from that. I do the same thing with the weekly. So over here I have my here's for October, my goals for October, and then week 1, week 2, week 3. I just kind of move things over here as I process them. This week I'll be reviewing my week 3 things that I want to get done. At the beginning of the day, or at least once or twice during the week, I'll look at this, if not every day. And that's it. That's been very helpful for me to stay focused, stay on task, get things done, work towards my goals. So I hope you find this helpful, and if this is a tool that would be good for you. Wherever you're watching this or reading this, there will be links to these two. You'll have to sign up for Trello if you aren't already part of Trello. It's a freemium app, so it does have a free version. And then you're able to copy these and use them for yourself however it serves you best. Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed. And wherever you're watching this, either subscribe, make sure you're on my list, subscribe to my channel, like the Facebook page. I don't know where you'll be reading this from, but let's just stay connected online. And if you'll stay connected with my platforms and channels, I'll be able to continue communicating with you and providing things that will be of value to you and help you with your business and your goals. Thanks. Bye for now.